Hello everyone! Welcome back to MindPop English. I am Emily, your host for today. If you are new here, I would like to tell you that we upload a new English learning video every day on our channel to help you improve your English faster. Imagine this. You are in a conversation with a native English speaker. They say something like, I ran into an old friend yesterday, or we need to figure out this problem. You understand some words, but you feel confused. What does ran into really mean? What does figure out mean? This is the power of phrasal verbs. They are short, simple, but they can completely change the meaning of a sentence. And here is the truth. If you do not master phrasal verbs, you will never sound natural in English. But once you learn them, your English will become smooth, confident, and fluent. Today, in this lesson from MindPop English, I will teach you more than 50 phrasal verbs for daily conversations. These are not difficult, advanced, or rare words. These are the exact phrasal verbs that native speakers use every single day. They use them at home, at school, at work, with friends, everywhere. And the best part? Once you know them, you can start using them immediately in your own conversations. So, stay with me until the end of this video because every phrasal verb will come with simple explanations, clear examples, and natural sentences you can copy and practice today. Let's get started. The first phrasal verb is wake up. This one is easy but very important. Wake up means to stop sleeping. For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. Notice that in English, we do not only say I wake, we must say wake up. This little word up makes it complete and natural. You can also use it in a command, wake up, you're late for school. The second phrasal verb is get up. This is similar but different. Get up means to rise from your bed or from a chair. For example, I usually get up after I wake up, but sometimes I stay in bed for 10 minutes. Another example, the teacher asked the students to get up and introduce themselves. So remember, wake up is when your eyes open, and get up is when you actually leave the bed or chair. The third phrasal verb is look for. This means to search for something. For example, I am looking for my keys. Have you seen them? Or she is looking for a new job. In daily conversation, people use look for all the time. Instead of saying, I search my keys, you must say, I am looking for my keys. The fourth phrasal verb is turn on. This means to make a machine or device start working. For example, can you turn on the light? Or he turned on the TV to watch the news. The opposite is turn off. For example, please turn off your phone before the movie starts. These two are very practical. You can use them every day when talking about lights, computers, fans, air conditioners, or any electronic device. The fifth phrasal verb is pick up. This one has many meanings. The most common is to lift something from a surface. For example, please pick up that book from the floor. Another common meaning is to collect someone. For example, I will pick you up from the airport. And there is also another meaning, to learn something casually. For example, I picked up some Spanish when I was traveling in Mexico. The sixth phrasal verb is put down. This is the opposite of pick up. For example, she put down her phone and started studying. Or, he put down the heavy box on the floor. The seventh phrasal verb is give up. This means to stop trying. For example, learning English is difficult, but do not give up. Another example, he gave up smoking last year. This one is very motivational. Native speakers use it a lot in everyday life. The eighth phrasal verb is take off. The first meaning is to remove something, usually clothes. For example, please take off your shoes before entering the house. The second meaning is when a plane leaves the ground. For example, the plane took off at 10 a.m. So remember, take off has both meanings, and you need to understand them from context. The ninth phrasal verb is put on. This is the opposite of take off. For example, she put on her jacket because it was cold. Or he put on his glasses to read the book. The 10th phrasal verb is try on. This means to test clothes before buying them. For example, I want to try on this shirt. This is very useful when you go shopping. Let's pause here for a second. Already, you can see how useful phrasal verbs are. With just these 10, you can describe waking up, getting up, searching, using machines, picking up and putting down objects, giving up on bad habits, taking off or putting on clothes, and trying on new things. These are situations you face every single day. Now, let's practice a little. I will give you some sentences with missing words. You try to fill in the blank with the correct phrasal verb. Number 1. I usually at 6:30, but I stay in bed until 7. The answer is wake up. Number 2. It is cold outside, so please your coat. The answer is put on. Number 3. She didn't know the answer, but she didn't. The answer is give up. Number 4. The teacher told us to our phones. The answer is turn off. Number 5. Can you, me, at the station? The answer is pick up. How did you do? Remember, the best way to master phrasal verbs is not only to listen and understand them, but to actually say them, write them, and use them in your own conversations. In the next part of this lesson, we will continue with more phrasal verbs that will make your English sound natural, fluent, and confident. Stay with me. Welcome back. In part 1, we learned 10 very common phrasal verbs like wake up, get up, turn on, turn off, and more. Now, let's continue with the next group of phrasal verbs. These are phrasal verbs that people use when talking about daily actions, responsibilities, and communication. They are essential if you want to sound natural. The 11th phrasal verb is look after. This means to take care of someone or something. For example, she looks after her younger brother when her parents are busy. Or, can you look after my dog while I'm away? Remember, this is different from look for. Look after means to care for, while look for means to search. The 12th phrasal verb is run out of. This means to have no more of something. For example, we ran out of milk, so I need to go to the store. Another example, I ran out of time before I finished my homework. This one is used all the time in daily conversations. The 13th phrasal verb is carry on. This means to continue. For example, even though it was raining, they carried on playing football. Or, she carried on studying even when she was tired. If you want to encourage someone, you can say, carry on, you're doing great. The 14th phrasal verb is come back. This means to return. For example, he came back from work late last night. Or, I will come back to this topic later. This one is very simple, but very common. The 15th phrasal verb is go out. This can mean to leave your house for social activities. For example, they went out for dinner. Or, I don't feel like going out tonight. It can also mean when lights or fire stop burning. For example, the lights went out during the storm. The 16th phrasal verb is hang out. This is an informal way to say spend time together. For example, do you want to hang out after school? Or, they're hanging out at the park. This is very popular in casual English, especially with young people. The 17th phrasal verb is take care of. This is similar to look after, but we use it more for responsibilities. For example, I need to take care of the bills this weekend. Or, don't worry, I will take care of everything. The 18th phrasal verb is look forward to. This means to be excited about something in the future. For example, I look forward to seeing you next week. Or, she is looking forward to her vacation. Notice, after look forward to, we often use a noun or an inging verb. For example, I look forward to meeting you. The 19th phrasal verb is find out. This means to discover something or to get new information. For example, I just found out that my friend is moving to another city. Or, he found out the truth about the situation. The 20th phrasal verb is check in. This means to register at a hotel or at the airport. For example, we checked in at the hotel at 3 p.m. Or, you need to check in at the airport 2 hours before the flight. The opposite is check out, which means to leave the hotel and pay. For example, we checked out of the hotel in the morning. Now let's practice quickly with these 10 phrasal verbs. I will give you some sentences with blanks. Try to guess the right phrasal verb. Number 1, I'm excited for the holiday. The answer is look forward to. Number 2, I don't want to cook tonight. Let's for dinner. The answer is go out. Number 3, the car stopped because it gas. The answer is ran out of. Number 4, don't worry, I will your cat while you are away. The answer is look after. Number 5, yesterday that she got a new job. The answer is found out. Did you get them right? Excellent. This shows you how natural and useful phrasal verbs are. You can hear these exact expressions in movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, and in daily conversations with native speakers. Here's a quick tip. When you learn a new phrasal verb, do not just memorize the meaning. Make your own sentence with it. For example, if you learn run out of, don't only say run out of means no more. Instead, create a personal example. I ran out of coffee this morning. This way, you connect the phrasal verb to your life and you remember it much faster. Let's keep going. The next phrasal verbs are connected to communication and interaction. These are very powerful because they help you in conversations, at school, at work, and in relationships. The 21st phrasal verb is bring up. This means to start talking about a topic. For example, she brought up an interesting idea during the meeting. Or, he always brings up politics when we eat together. The 22nd phrasal verb is point out. This means to show something or explain it clearly. For example, the teacher pointed out my mistakes. Or, I want to point out that this is not the best solution. The 23rd phrasal verb is make up. This one has a few meanings. First, it can mean to invent something, usually a story. For example, he made up an excuse for being late. Second, it can mean to reconcile after a fight. For example, they argued yesterday, but they made up today. The 24th phrasal verb is get along. This means to have a good relationship. For example, I get along well with my coworkers. Or, they don't get along very well. The 25th phrasal verb is call off. This means to cancel. For example, they called off the meeting because the manager was sick. Or, the concert was called off due to bad weather. Before we stop here, let's practice again. Try to fill in the blanks. Number 1. The problem in class, so the teacher could help. The answer is brought up. Number 2. I usually well with my neighbors. The answer is get along. Number 3. The party was because of the storm. The answer is called off. Number 4. The child, a funny story. The answer is made up. Number 5. The guide, the most important places to see. The answer is pointed out. Fantastic job. You are doing great. In the next part, we will continue with even more phrasal verbs that are common in daily English conversations. And I promise, the more you learn, the more natural you will sound. Stay with me. Welcome back. You've already learned 25 powerful phrasal verbs, and if you are still here, that means you are serious about mastering them. That is fantastic. In this part, we are going to keep building. These next phrasal verbs are all about everyday actions, emotions, and problems. They are so common that if you don't know them, you will miss the meaning of many conversations. Let's dive in. The 26th phrasal verb is work out. This has two main meanings. The first is to exercise. For example, she works out at the gym every morning. The second meaning is to solve a problem or to find a solution. For example, we need to work out this issue before tomorrow. The 27th phrasal verb is break down. This means when a machine stops working. For example, my car broke down on the way to work. It can also mean when a person becomes very emotional. For example, she broke down in tears after hearing the news. The 28th phrasal verb is set up. This means to arrange or prepare something. For example, they set up the chairs for the meeting, or he set up his own business last year. The 29th phrasal verb is give back. This means to return something you borrowed. For example, please give back my book after you finish reading it. Or, she gave back the money she owed. The 30th phrasal verb is look up. This means to search for information, usually in a book or online. For example, I looked up the word in the dictionary. Another meaning is when something improves. For example, things are finally looking up for him after a difficult year. The 31st phrasal verb is take after. This means to resemble a family member in appearance or behavior. For example, she takes after her mother, or he takes after his father in the way he speaks. The 32nd phrasal verb is run into. This means to meet someone unexpectedly. For example, I ran into an old friend at the supermarket. This is very different from running for exercise. In this case, it means a chance meeting. The 33rd phrasal verb is hold on. This means to wait. For example, hold on, I'll be ready in a minute. Or, can you hold on while I find the document? In phone conversations, people often say, hold on a second. The 34th phrasal verb is take over. This means to take control or responsibility. For example, when the teacher left, the assistant took over the class, or a big company took over the smaller one. The 35th phrasal verb is bring back. This means to return something or to make someone remember something. For example, she brought back some souvenirs from her trip, or that song brings back good memories. Let's pause and practice these. Try to complete the sentences. Number 1, my car on the highway, so I had to call a mechanic. The answer is broke down. Number 2, he, his father, they both love music. The answer is takes after. Number 3, she some gifts from her vacation. The answer is brought back. Number 4, I, an old friend at the cafe. The answer is ran into. Number 5, don't leave yet, please, for a minute. The answer is hold on. How many did you get right? Good work. The more you practice, the more these expressions become natural for you. Let's keep going with more. The 36th phrasal verb is cut off. This means to stop or interrupt. For example, the electricity was cut off because of the storm. Or, he cut me off while I was speaking. The 37th phrasal verb is catch up. This means to reach the same level as someone else. For example, I need to catch up on my homework. Or, let's meet and catch up on old times. The 38th phrasal verb is put off. This means to postpone or delay. For example, they put off the meeting until next week. Another example, don't put off studying until the last minute. The 39th phrasal verb is show up. This means to appear or to arrive. For example, he didn't show up for the meeting, or she always shows up late. The 40th phrasal verb is turn up. This means to increase volume or to appear unexpectedly. For example, please turn up the music, or he turned up at the party without an invitation. Let's practice again with these. Number 1, the singer didn't for the concert. The answer is show up. Number 2, can you, the TV? I can't hear it. The answer is turn up. Number 3, she always, her work until the last day. The answer is puts off. Number 4, I need to, on my reading. The answer is catch up. Number 5, the phone call suddenly. The answer is cut off. Excellent. You are learning step by step. Notice how many of these phrasal verbs have multiple meanings. The secret to mastering them is to understand the meaning from the context. For example, turn up can mean to increase volume, but it can also mean to appear. So pay attention to how native speakers use them. In the next part, we will explore more phrasal verbs that describe emotions, relationships, and daily habits. Keep watching, because the deeper you go, the stronger your English will become. You are doing amazing so far. By now, you already know 40 different phrasal verbs that native speakers use all the time. If you keep practicing them, you will notice something. Suddenly, movies, TV shows, podcasts, and even casual conversations will become easier to understand. Now, let's keep going with even more phrasal verbs that focus on emotions, relationships, and daily habits. The 41st phrasal verb is calm down. This means to relax after being angry, excited, or upset. For example, please calm down. Everything will be okay. Or, he calmed down after talking to his friend. The 42nd phrasal verb is cheer up. This means to become happy or to make someone else feel happy. For example, she brought me chocolate to cheer me up. Or, he always cheers up when he listens to music. The 43rd phrasal verb is break up. This has two main meanings. First, it means to end a romantic relationship. For example, they broke up after 3 years together. Second, it can also mean when a signal or connection is weak. For example, you're breaking up, I can't hear you clearly on the phone. The 44th phrasal verb is get over. This means to recover from something, like an illness or a difficult situation. For example, it took her months to get over the flu. Or, he finally got over his fear of public speaking. The 45th phrasal verb is grow up. This means to become an adult. For example, I grew up in a small town. Or, she wants to be a doctor when she grows up. The 46th phrasal verb is look back. This means to think about the past. For example, when I look back, I realize how much I've learned. Or, he looked back on his childhood with happiness. The 47th phrasal verb is hold back. This means to stop yourself from doing something or to control emotions. For example, she held back her tears during the speech, or he didn't hold back his opinion in the meeting. The 48th phrasal verb is open up. This means to share feelings or thoughts. For example, he finally opened up about his problems. Or she finds it hard to open up to strangers. The 49th phrasal verb is fall out. This means to argue or stop being friends. For example, they fell out over money, or she fell out with her best friend last year. The 50th phrasal verb is get together. This means to meet socially. For example, let's get together this weekend. Or the family got together for dinner. Let's practice with these 10. Fill in the blanks. Number 1. He didn't want to cry, but he couldn't his tears. The answer is hold back. Number 2. We usually, for a barbecue in the summer. The answer is get together. Number 3. She finally with her boyfriend. The answer is broke up. Number 4. Please and tell me what happened. The answer is calm down. Number 5. He, quickly after catching a cold. The answer is got over. How did you do? Excellent. By now you have reached 50 phrasal verbs. That's a huge achievement. But we are not done yet. Let's add even more so that you have a complete toolbox for daily English conversations. The 51st phrasal verb is end up. This means to finally be in a place or situation, often unexpectedly. For example, we ended up at a different restaurant because the first one was closed. Or he studied law but ended up working in finance. The 52nd phrasal verb is cut down on. This means to reduce something. For example, I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Or he cut down on watching TV to study more. The 53rd phrasal verb is fill in. This means to complete something, usually a form or information. For example, please fill in this form. Or she filled in for the manager when he was sick. The 54th phrasal verb is hand in. This means to submit something. For example, I need to hand in my homework by Friday. Or he handed in his resignation. The 55th phrasal verb is throw away. This means to put something in the trash. For example, don't throw away that paper. I still need it. Or she threw away her old clothes. Let's do a quick practice. Number 1. We got lost and at the wrong station. The answer is ended up. Number 2. The student his assignment on time. The answer is handed in. Number 3. You should junk food if you want to be healthy. The answer is cut down on. Number 4. Can you this form with your information? The answer is fill in. Number 5. Don't the box. We can reuse it. The answer is throw away. Fantastic. With these, you now know 55 phrasal verbs. Imagine how much more fluent and confident you will sound when you start using them in real conversations. In the next part, we will continue with even more phrasal verbs that native speakers use all the time in work, study, and casual conversations. Keep going, you are doing great. You've made it this far, and that shows real dedication. We already covered 55 phrasal verbs, and you're building a strong foundation. Now let's keep going with more phrasal verbs that you can use in everyday life, at school, at work, and in social situations. These are extremely common and will make your English sound natural and fluent. The 56th phrasal verb is write down. This means to record information on paper or digitally. For example, please write down my phone number, or he wrote down the instructions so he wouldn't forget. The 57th phrasal verb is cross out. This means to draw a line through something to show it is incorrect. For example, cross out the wrong answer, or she crossed out the mistake and corrected it. The 58th phrasal verb is find out about. This means to learn new information. For example, I found out about the meeting yesterday. Or they found out about the surprise party. The 59th phrasal verb is go over. This means to review or examine carefully. For example, let's go over the details again. Or the teacher went over the answers with the class. The 60th phrasal verb is hand out. This means to distribute something. For example, the teacher handed out worksheets to the students, or they handed out flyers on the street. Let's pause and practice. Number 1. The boss the new schedules to everyone. The answer is handed out. Number 2. She, her mistakes in the exercise. The answer is crossed out. Number 3. I need my notes before the test. The answer is go over. Number 4. Please your address so I can send you a letter. The answer is write down. Number 5. He just the news about her promotion. The answer is found out about. Great work. Let's move on. The 61st phrasal verb is take out. This means to remove something from somewhere. For example, please take out the trash, or he took out a pen from his bag. It can also mean to invite someone out socially. For example, he took her out for dinner. The 62nd phrasal verb is turn down. This means to lower the volume or intensity. For example, can you turn down the music? Another meaning is to refuse an offer. For example, she turned down the job offer. The 63rd phrasal verb is work on. This means to spend time improving something. For example, I am working on my English skills, or they are working on a big project. The 64th phrasal verb is look out. This means to be careful or to watch for danger. For example, look out, there's a car coming. Or he looked out for his younger brother. The 65th phrasal verb is break into. This means to enter a place by force. For example, Thieves broke into the house last night. Another meaning is to start suddenly, such as laughing or singing. For example, she broke into laughter. Now let's practice again. Number 1. His guitar case, and started playing. The answer is took out. Number 2. The music was too loud, so the volume. The answer is turned down. Number 3. Be careful for that step. The answer is look out. Number 4. She has been her writing skills. The answer is working on. Number 5. The thieves the store and stole some money. The answer is broke into. Fantastic. That's 65 phrasal verbs. By now, you should notice how flexible they are. Some phrasal verbs have multiple meanings, and that's why they are so powerful. Once you master them, you will not only understand English better, but also express yourself more naturally. Here's a quick learning tip. After watching this video, choose 5 phrasal verbs that are most useful for your life. Write down personal sentences with them. For example, if you choose work on, you could write, I am working on my English pronunciation. If you choose look out, you could write, I looked out for my little sister at the park. Personal examples are always easier to remember. In the next part, we will explore even more phrasal verbs that you can use in real-life conversations, including situations at work, in daily routines, and in casual chats with friends. Keep going, you're closer than ever to mastering phrasal verbs. Welcome back. You've already mastered 65 phrasal verbs. That's incredible. If you practice and use them daily, you'll notice how much easier it is to understand native speakers and to sound fluent yourself. Now, let's keep going with even more phrasal verbs that are practical, simple, and powerful. The 66th phrasal verb is wake up to. This means to realize something important. For example, he finally woke up to the truth. Or, people are waking up to the importance of learning English. The 67th phrasal verb is put up with. This means to tolerate or accept something unpleasant. For example, I can't put up with the noise anymore. Or, she puts up with a lot of stress at work. The 68th phrasal verb is step down. This means to resign or leave a position. For example, the manager stepped down after 10 years. Or, she decided to step down as team leader. The 69th phrasal verb is get ahead. This means to succeed or make progress. For example, he works hard to get ahead in his career. Or, learning English can help you get ahead in life. The 70th phrasal verb is carry out. This means to perform or complete a task. For example, the scientists carried out an experiment. Or, she carried out the plan successfully. Let's practice. Number 1. I can't the bad service anymore. The answer is put up with. Number 2. He from his position as director. The answer is stepped down. Number 3. They research on climate change. The answer is carried out. Number 4. He worked hard and finally in business. The answer is got ahead. Number 5. She finally the reality of the situation. The answer is woke up to. Well done. Now let's add some more. The 71st phrasal verb is come across. This means to find something by chance. For example, I came across an interesting book yesterday. Or she came across an old photo in her drawer. The 72nd phrasal verb is cut out. This means to stop doing something, usually a bad habit. For example, he decided to cut out junk food. Or you should cut out smoking. The 73rd phrasal verb is deal with. This means to handle a problem or situation. For example, she has to deal with many emails every day. Or he dealt with the problem calmly. The 74th phrasal verb is fall behind. This means to not keep up with work or progress. For example, he fell behind in his studies. Or don't fall behind on your payments. The 75th phrasal verb is keep up. This means to continue at the same level or speed. For example, you're walking too fast. I can't keep up. Or she studies every day to keep up with her classmates. Practice time again. Number 1. He some old letters while cleaning the attic. The answer is came across. Number 2. She many difficult customers at work. The answer is deals with. Number 3. If you don't study, you will the class. The answer is fall behind. Number 4. I want to soda for my health. The answer is cut out. Number 5. You're running fast. I can't with you. The answer is keep up. Fantastic. That's 75 phrasal verbs in total. Just imagine how confident you will feel when you use these in daily conversations. Remember, don't just listen to them, repeat them. Write them down and practice them in your own sentences. Here's a simple technique. Take 5 phrasal verbs and create a short story with them. For example, I woke up to my alarm, but I fell behind on my schedule. On the way to work, I came across an old friend. We decided to keep up with each other and promised to cut out bad habits. This way, you practice naturally and memorize faster. In the next part, we will continue with more phrasal verbs that describe common daily actions, challenges, and conversations. We're almost at the finish line, so stay with me until the end. You've already learned 75 phrasal verbs. That's an amazing achievement. Now, let's keep moving and master even more. Remember, each phrasal verb you learn is like a key that unlocks better understanding and smoother communication in English. The 76th phrasal verb is look after. This means to take care of someone or something. For example, she looks after her younger brother, or he looks after the garden every weekend. The 77th phrasal verb is check out. This means to look at something or to leave a place like a hotel. For example, you should check out this new movie. Or, we checked out of the hotel at noon. The 78th phrasal verb is fill out. This means to complete a form or document. For example, please fill out this application. Or, she filled out the registration form. The 79th phrasal verb is hand in. This means to submit work or an assignment. For example, he handed in his homework on time. Or, she handed in her resignation letter. The 80th phrasal verb is pick up on. This means to notice or become aware of something. For example, she picked up on his nervous tone. Or, he didn't pick up on the joke. Let's practice. Number 1. Don't forget to your homework tomorrow. The answer is hand in. Number 2. Can you this form with your details? The answer is fill out. Number 3. He, his little sister while their parents are away. The answer is looks after. Number 4. They of the hotel early this morning. The answer is checked out. Number 5. She quickly, his mistake in the report. The answer is picked up on. Perfect. Now let's add 5 more. The 81st phrasal verb is go over. This means to review or check carefully. For example, let's go over the report together. Or, the teacher went over the answers with the class. The 82nd phrasal verb is hold on. This means to wait for a short time. For example, hold on a second, I'll be right back. Or, she told him to hold on while she looked for the keys. The 83rd phrasal verb is show up. This means to appear or arrive. For example, he showed up late to the party. Or, she showed up for the interview on time. The 84th phrasal verb is break into. This means to enter a place by force. For example, thieves broke into the store last night. Or, someone tried to break into the car. The 85th phrasal verb is take over. This means to assume control of something. For example, she took over as the new manager. Or, the company was taken over by a larger one. Now, practice time again. Number 1. The robbers tried to the house. The answer is break into. Number 2. She didn't for the meeting yesterday. The answer is show up. Number 3. Can we the main points one more time? The answer is go over. Number 4. He will his father's business next year. The answer is take over. Number 5. Please, for just a minute. The answer is hold on. Excellent. That makes 85 phrasal verbs. You are now closer than ever to mastering the full set of 50 plus, and by the end of this video, you'll have an incredible toolbox of expressions you can use every single day. Here's a quick tip. When you learn a new phrasal verb, don't just memorize the definition. Use it in at least 3 personal sentences. For example, I had to fill out a form yesterday. I filled out the survey online. He filled out all the paperwork for his new job. This way, you make the verb part of your real-life English. In the next part, we will continue with even more phrasal verbs that describe everyday actions, emotions, and common situations. Keep practicing and keep repeating. Fluency comes with practice. You've done an amazing job so far. With 85 phrasal verbs already in your pocket, you're building a strong foundation for real English conversations. Let's keep going, because the more phrasal verbs you know, the more natural and confident you will sound. The 86th phrasal verb is work out. This means to exercise, or it can also mean to solve a problem. For example, she works out at the gym 3 times a week. Or they worked out the problem together. The 87th phrasal verb is make up. This means to invent something or to reconcile after an argument. For example, he made up an excuse for being late. Or the 2 friends made up after the fight. The 88th phrasal verb is set up. This means to arrange or prepare something. For example, they set up the chairs for the meeting. Or she set up her own business last year. The 89th phrasal verb is turn in. This means to submit work, or it can also mean to go to bed. For example, he turned in his essay before the deadline. Or, I'm tired. I think I'll turn in early tonight. The 90th phrasal verb is call off. This means to cancel something. For example, they called off the meeting because of the storm. Or, she called off the wedding. Let's practice together. Number 1. The teacher asked the students to their assignments. The answer is turn in. Number 2. She, her own online shop. The answer is set up. Number 3. I try to at least 3 times a week. The answer is work out. Number 4. They, the picnic, because of the rain. The answer is called off. Number 5. After arguing, the 2 friends finally. The answer is made up. Fantastic. Now let's continue. The 91st phrasal verb is give up. This means to stop trying or to quit. For example, he gave up smoking. Or don't give up on your dreams. The 92nd phrasal verb is break down. This means to stop working or to lose emotional control. For example, my car broke down on the way to work. Or she broke down and cried. The 93rd phrasal verb is run out of. This means to use something until it is finished. For example, we ran out of milk. Or he ran out of time during the test. The 94th phrasal verb is come up with. This means to think of an idea or plan. For example, she came up with a brilliant solution. Or he came up with a new recipe. The 95th phrasal verb is look forward to. This means to be excited about something in the future. For example, I look forward to meeting you. Or she looks forward to her vacation. Practice time. Number 1, he, a creative idea for the project. The answer is came up with. Number 2, she is really her trip next week. The answer is looking forward to. Number 3, the old machine finally The answer is broke down. Number 4, we sugar, so we need to buy more. The answer is ran out of. Number 5, even if it's hard, don't. The answer is give up. Excellent work. That brings us to 95 phrasal verbs. You're so close to reaching the full set, and each one of these is a tool that will help you speak English more naturally. Here's a quick learning strategy. Try to group phrasal verbs by theme. For example, give up, work out, and set up can all be connected to health, fitness, or daily routines. By grouping them, you'll remember them more easily and use them in the right situations. In the next part, we'll finish strong with the final phrasal verbs you need to master for daily English conversation. Stay with me until the end. You're almost there. You've made it this far, and that's something to be proud of. With 95 phrasal verbs already under your belt, we are now going to finish with the last set. These final phrasal verbs will complete your journey in this lesson, and by the end, you will have mastered more than 50, actually more than 100 phrasal verbs that you can use every single day. The 96th phrasal verb is stand out. This means to be noticeable or special. For example, her bright dress made her stand out in the crowd. Or, he stands out as the best student in class. The 97th phrasal verb is come in. This means to enter a place. For example, please come in and have a seat. Or, she came in quietly. The 98th phrasal verb is cut back on. This means to reduce something. For example, I'm trying to cut back on sugar. Or, they cut back on spending this year. The 99th phrasal verb is figure out. This means to understand or solve something. For example, he finally figured out the problem. Or, I can't figure out how to use this app. The 100th phrasal verb is wrap up. This means to finish something. For example, let's wrap up the meeting. Or, they wrapped up the project yesterday. Let's practice one last time together. Number 1. He tried the puzzle, but it was too hard. The answer is figure out. Number 2. She decided to coffee for health reasons. The answer is cut back on. Number 3. The colorful sign made the shop. The answer is stand out. Number 4. It's cold outside. Please, quickly. The answer is come in. Number 5. It's time to the lesson. The answer is wrap up. Perfect. That's 100 phrasal verbs you can use for daily English conversations. If you practice these every day, I promise your English will become more fluent, more natural, and more confident. Now here's a powerful learning tip. Don't try to memorize all 100 at once. Instead, take 10 phrasal verbs each week. Review them, use them in sentences, and speak them out loud. After 10 weeks, you'll have mastered them all, and they'll become part of your natural English. Remember, phrasal verbs are everywhere in English. Native speakers use them all the time, and if you want to sound fluent and understand real conversations, you need to practice them again and again. Before we wrap up, let me challenge you. Write 3 sentences in the comments using your favorite phrasal verbs from today's lesson. I'll check and give feedback, and other learners will also benefit from your examples. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to MindPop English and turn on notifications so you don't miss future lessons. I create simple, clear, and effective English lessons that anyone can follow, no matter your level. Congratulations on finishing this full journey. Keep practicing, keep repeating, and remember, fluency comes step by step, and you're already on the right path. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.